Hey YouTube, it is Sunday morning, and yeah, I'm in the truck instead of at home, even though I'm in my hometown, but there was absolutely no parking, and I ran out of hours, and I could just leave the truck in an improvised spot. So anyways, Juan Garcia wanted me to go over how do you keep books and what to look for in a CPA. I'm not an expert. One of the resolutions that I have for my business this year is to keep better books. Now, I keep my receipts, I do all that, but I found a new organization method. First thing I did is for all your receipts that don't have to do with food and fuel, all the deduction stuff you want, there's an app called Tiny Scanner, and what I do is I scan each app, and it's the same technology that's on your Transflow app if you use that. I take a picture, and then I have one specific email address simply for nothing but these documents. I send it to it, and boom, now it's on the cloud. Now it can't be lost. Well, I guess it can be lost, but now I can't lose it here. But I still keep the physical copy. For CPA, I've started off using ATBS. They're familiar with trucking. That's what they specialize in. And I pay like a monthly fee, which is also tax deductible. And am I kind of wasting my money? It depends on how you look at it. When you first start, you're going to kind of want to use somebody until you know what you're doing. And they should give you a list of deductions that you can use. And ATBS is a little bit more open-minded on your deductions, whereas other places may not be. Now, with that being said, one of the things I do is I have like an organizer, and on it I write down the loads, the miles, like for example, there's that. This is an old one. This is from my Landstar days. I'd write down what the load I did. Now notice the blank pages. That was my problem at Landstar. I couldn't get consistency. So, and I would, like, for this one, it says Indy to O'Fallon to Olathe, and it was it paid so much, lumber fee what it was, and then that's kind of, you got your notes, but these organizers are great for writing everything down. Now, on my load assignments, I write down everything, even though it's all in the Qualcomm. I write everything down. I write down the load number, the shipper. We have codes that we type into Qualcomm for directions. I'll type in the address, the master BOL number, deadhead, total loaded miles, the weight, pickup number, and then delivery number if needed, consignee, address, and everything. And then I write down the load number, and that becomes important because that's how I get paid, is when I scan the paperwork in. So, Schneider gives us these little, what they call pumpkin books, which are comparable to, if you go in the truck stops, there's a little book that you can buy from J.J. Keller that, you can list all the information. It's kind of a preformed template. You can write down all your load info. I used to use those, and Schneider, the books are handy, but they're real small to write in. So I've done it this way since the beginning. Since I've been trucking, when I was a company guy, I'd write everything down because, in the olden days, if I want to show my age here, the Mobile Max that we use instead of the Qualcomm was more likely to go down a lot. So sometimes you get in a shipper and the device would shut down and you couldn't get your pickup number. So I always write everything down. That way there's a document. Also, I put notes on there of like if the shipper was horrible, if it was a long wait, because you think you would remember it, but then 6 months down the road you won't. Trust me. And then I used to keep a file card box of index cards of the shippers alphabetically and directions, and whether you can spend the night there, whether the GPS found it or not, because a lot of times your GPS won't find it, or it'll say it's over there when it's actually over here, you know, that kind of thing. But I stopped doing that because I don't know, I've just gotten out of the habit. So, but as far as the tax stuff goes, I use ATBS. I know some of you are probably like, why the hell are you doing that? Jeffrey Like recommends a good program called Foxline software, or Fogline, sorry. And he showed me the program one of the times I met up with him, and it's a good program, but you got to be on top of scanning your paperwork in and put it on the laptop. You know, he's got a little workstation in his truck, so it makes it a little bit easier for him. And you know, and it's all about how organized you are. So one of the resolutions that I need to do this year is, a lot of times I feel like a hack, a lot of times I feel like I don't need to be out here being an owner-operator. And I'm a firm believer that when you practice something, if you want to feel like, for example, if you want to feel like a musician, take music lessons. Try to emanate your favorite musicians. Well, trucking's kind of the same way. You know, find somebody that you look up to that has their act together and emanate them. And there's a couple of owner-operators out here that have been doing this a long time, and they give me hope and they give me encouragement, and those are the people that I need to try to emanate. So maybe if I don't feel like such a hack and have a little bit more confidence in myself, maybe the task of getting a new truck won't be as daunting. And last year I was horrible with organizing my tax stuff because I was so busy trying to play catch up, but I just had almost no motivation. But sometimes you got to kick yourself in the ass, and it's like, you know what, you're a businessman, you got to act like a businessman, you got to do what it takes to get it done. You know, it's not like company driving where you just shut the truck off and forget about it when you go home. There's a lot of things you gotta consider. There's a lot of things you gotta think about, and you know, there are services that help you do a lot of this stuff. You know, if I had my own authority, I'd probably hire somebody to do a lot of things. Of course, that's less money to take home. So, but the more you can do, the better off you'll be. And I was talking to a friend of mine whose husband drives for a big company out of Springfield. I won't say who it is, but I was shocked to learn that he doesn't hardly do any deductions, and of course they're on the hook with the IRS for thousands upon thousands of dollars. So the deductions thing can be extremely important, because when you're say a lease operator for a company like Prime or Schneider, you know, you're grossing quite a bit of money, and if you don't deduct right, it's going to make it look like you made $150,000. So you're in a new tax bracket, and that's the kind of taxes you're going to pay. So the deductions become extremely important. You know, your fuel, truck payment, lease payment, depreciation, all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of resources online that can help you. So Juan, I hope this answers your question. I'm not the best at organizing my own stuff, but you can see the little stabs I've tried. This truck that I'm driving now is not friendly to compartments and I'm trying to keep things straight and neat. So the interior of this truck is trash. If you meet me on the road, you'll never see the inside of my truck. So, and I need to be better about that. But at any rate, I'm going to drop this, I'm going to park this truck in a parking spot and then go home. And I'll be home for a day, and then we'll see what happens Monday. So you guys take it easy, and we'll see you later.